Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Betty, a true dad, and welcome to Automachef, which is basically a robot kitchen automation game, and I absolutely flipping love it. But before we dive straight in, this is an extremely early version of the game, it's not available yet, still work in progress, not feature complete, diddly-diddly-dee. So, here's how all of this fits together. I need to set up a kitchen that can automatically produce various foods that get ordered in a restaurant. But just for the sake of ease in one of these very early missions, we've only got one thing that's going to be ordered. This here sandwich shop doesn't offer anything other than BLTs. So I've got to basically produce a BLT production line. So if we go over to recipes over here, we can see what makes up a BLT. One lettuce leaf, one set of bacon strips that have been cooked, one tomato that's been chopped, and two bread slices that have been toasted. So all of those ingredients, or rather the final steps of those ingredients, the toasted slices, the sliced tomato, all of that stuff, that needs to be put into an assembler. That's what ultimately constructs the final stage, the BLT itself. So we're going to put that right over here by the conveyor belt where the food actually needs to get delivered. So just lay down some conveyor belts, and now basically we want all four of those ingredients to end up on the conveyor belt so they end up next to the assembler. All raw ingredients come out of a dispenser, so let's get one of those down right over here just to actually start producing some of our raw ingredients. So let's say this one wants to produce bacon strips. But we know, for example, that bacon strips need to be turned into crispy bacon strips. And that's what the electric grill is for. That turns any type of food into its cooked variant. But to get food on and off actual machines, we're going to be needing robotic arms, not conveyor belts. Robot arms can put food onto conveyor belts and pick it off conveyor belts, and the conveyor belts can move it around. But yeah, to actually pick it up, move it around corners, put it onto a grill, take it off a grill, we're going to be needing robot arms. So a basic robot arm dumb will just pretty much pick up anything that it sees and then immediately move it. So we'll put that robot arm there, and then just modify it to say that I want it to actually drop anything off to the left. So it's going to pick up the bacon and then drop it off immediately to the left right there. Toss a couple more arms down over here. Make sure they're set up correctly as well. Because yeah, we need arms to get things in and out of the actual assembler. And don't forget that the assembler itself needs to be told which recipe it's following, because each assembler can only do one thing. So this assembler is building the BLT. And I need to make sure it also puts out its finished dishes onto the right, because that's where the robot arm is that's going to collect the food. If we just set this off, however, we're going to run into a problem immediately. Which is the bacon is put onto the grill, but this robot arm sees bacon and immediately picks it off again. It doesn't know what to do aside from see thing, therefore pick thing up. So this isn't going to work because the bacon doesn't have time to cook. Instead, we need a robot arm smart, which can actually be given more specific instructions for how to operate. You see, this robot arm can actually be told to only pick up certain things. So I'd like this thing to only pick up crispy bacon strips. So the bacon's now set up, but we have a couple of other ingredients that need to be sorted out as well. In particular, the tomato slice needs something else done to it. A food processor. Food processors, however, are very, very simple indeed. They're basically just conveyor belts that process food that passes through them. So all I need to do is tell this dispenser to actually dispense tomatoes. The tomatoes will be dispensed directly into the food processor. They will be sliced and then they'll end up over here exactly where they need to be loaded into the machine. Except, of course, I just had a thought, because this game is all about efficiency. Now, I could just set up some bread over here, bread gets dispensed, robot arm takes it down to another grill, robot hand brings it over here once it's grilled, but this grill's not going to be at full capacity with the bacon, because the grill can have 4 items on it at once. So what if I just had a single grill handling both the bread and the bacon? Now for that reason, I'm just going to actually shuffle this over here, because yeah, right now we're just in the planning stage. Until we actually click start, no orders are coming in. So you set up the kitchen, then you check whether it runs correctly. So all we're going to say is brand new dispenser right here. This is going to be my bread dispenser. Robot arm goes down, we modify that to deliver the food to its left. And a new smart robot arm over here is therefore set to 1, deliver over to the right, but 2, only pick up bread once it's been toasted. There we go, toasted bread slice. One more bit of conveyor belt right here, flip that way, and now yeah, bacon should come through here, get picked up, brought over there, bread comes through here, gets toasted, dropped over there. The tomatoes get pulled in over here, and that leaves just one ingredient left. The easiest one of all, lettuce. That just needs to be dumped onto the conveyor belt because that doesn't need to be dealt with in any way whatsoever. So lettuce, we can just have that being produced, and then all of this over here we can get rid of because we don't need it anymore. Because yeah, what the game also wants you to do is not just make this place run, but also run as cheaply as possible. Now this is all fine aside from one problem, which is these things will just keep producing ingredients every 5 seconds by default. But people aren't coming in and ordering a sandwich every 5 seconds. That would be a horrendous waste of food, which is why we need the order reader. So we'll just shove that over here and start hooking it up to various bits of equipment. So this is attached to the restaurant and it's attached to the BLT orders. So this thing detects when a BLT is ordered. And now I start connecting it to parts. So connect that to the bacon strip dispenser. And now we say when a BLT is ordered, I would like you to perform the action that you actually are supposed to be doing one time. So one bit of bacon is produced then and only then. Now the same thing's true for the bread slice dispenser, but because we need 2 slices of bread, that needs to be set to produce 2 times every time an order is received. And the same for the lettuce of the tomato, 1 each. Each order reader can only be attached to 4 things, and yeah, it can also do a whole bunch of other stuff if you want it to. So yeah, you can say it turns on, or turns off, or is always on while an order for that particular item is pending, but I think we're happy with what we've got here. Technically, the only problem with this kitchen is it's relatively energy inefficient, because right now, the grill will always be on and the assembler will always be on, even if they're not grilling or assembling anything. Let's just start this machine off and see whether it actually functions. But yeah, right now you can see energy's ticking up. Right now, if I'd set the grill to only be on when an order is pending, that grill wouldn't be on and I'd be using less electricity. And there we go, we just got our first order delivered. So we have 1 order underway right now. All of the items are produced. The tomato's been sliced, the lettuce has been delivered. The bread is being produced as fast as it can be produced. The robot arms grab all of that. The other robot arms start loading them into the assembler. The final bit of bread is now here, and the assembler should wake up. Yes, indeed it does. The cogs start turning. So as a result of that, we are now producing things, I'd say, fairly efficiently. This is a pretty efficient layout. But of course, you may notice the convenient thing about this kitchen is it literally only produces one thing, the BLT. Real restaurants don't just produce one thing. So, next mission, and things are starting to get complicated, because now we've got ourselves 2 things that customers might choose to order. A double bacon burger and a plain hot dog. So, okay, double bacon burger is a little bit on the complicated side. That needs 1 burger bun that comes pre-sliced, so that doesn't need any form of treatment. Double cheese that must be double processed into cheese slicers. 2 raw patties into 2 cooked patties. 1 bacon strips into 1 crispy bacon strips. All gets put together into 1 double bacon burger. The plain hot dog, however, is much easier. Raw hot dog gets cooked, hot dog bun doesn't need preparation, put them together, job done. So, probably the safest thing to do is have immediately a double assembler right over here at the edge of the kitchen. Set up some nice conveyor belts right along the end here, and then, yeah, just set up dumb robot arms that can just deliver the food wherever it needs to be delivered. So this assembler at the top here, we need to make sure that is, yeah, delivering to the left-hand side, and that is going to be following the recipe for the double bacon burger. Now, I choose that one because it's going to take longer to assemble because it's a lot more complicated. So people are going to be waiting longer for that one, so therefore I want that one delivered to as close to the window as possible, just to make absolutely sure that we save as many seconds as we can on delivery. The hot dog, however, that's going to be much faster to make, so as a result of that, if that has to take a little bit of a ride on a conveyor belt, that hopefully shouldn't matter as much. Now let's consider how many grills we actually need here. Now I've no idea if this will work, but what if we had raw meats over here, then we dispense all of those with dumb robot arms onto this conveyor belt. This dumb robot arm picks up literally everything and dumps it onto the grill. And then we have 3 smart robot arms on the far side. 1 for cooked bacon, 1 for cooked patties, 1 for cooked hot dogs. Now just make sure that we remember, this machine down here is the hot dog machine. So we've got to make sure, yeah, this is the logical one to actually do the hot dogs. And by the way, you want to deliver to your left if you'd be so kind. And I want you to only pick up cooked hot dogs. This one over here can actually just deliver straight and then pick up crispy bacon bits. And this one at the top delivers right and picks up the cooked patties. One more thing we need to change as well. Conveyor belts need to be slowed right the hell down. Otherwise, yeah, the robot arms simply won't have time to grab anything. So So let's just actually slow these machines right the hell down, please. Ah! I've just started a little test here, and I see the problem. The dumb arm is really dumb. It's picking up the cooked hot dog thing, and it's trying to put it inside the burger machine. Right, okay, we need to slightly rethink the design here. Honestly, this isn't actually that difficult to fix. I can sort this out. All we need to do is say that you deliver straight. You just deliver straight over here, and then this starts delivering over to here. But just for safety, I'm going to move this dumb arm over to here, just so, yeah, there's a bit more time for you to grab these things as they enter your conveyor belt for the first time. So yeah, that's now nice and slow, and that just means we now need the non-meat ingredients. So double cheese slice and a burger bun for the burger bun, and yeah, for the other one, it was just the standard hot dog bun. So if I just put a dispenser all the way up here, this dispenser, and then one food processor, yeah, there we go, just like that, that produces the cheese. So the cheese gets actually grated here, and then gets picked up by this arm, loaded into the burger machine. And one final super simple one dispenser right here, that can simply dispense the burger buns. There we go. So now we've got ourselves bacon, burgers, bread, and cheese off these 4 machines. This machine, however, takes the hot dogs, moves them over here. This dumb robot arm picks that up, but we also need the burger buns. So just grab one more dispenser. That can just go, yeah, right in here, snuggling right in the middle. That just dispenses the hot dog buns. Now, that should hopefully work. But of course I do need the order readers to make sure they're not being constantly produced. So I'm going to need 2 order readers for each of the 2 orders. So you are going to be the double bacon burger machine. And nothing too complicated here, simply connect that to all of the components needed for the bacon burger. Yeah, 2 cheese, 2 patties, 1 bacon, 1 burger bun. The other order reader gets a bit of an easier job, plain hot dog. So as soon as the plain hot dog gets ordered, we're going to need to dispense 1 hot dog and 1 hot dog bun. Nice and simple. And as we've actually got spare capacity in this thing, we can actually say, connect that to the hot dog assembler. The hot dog assembler shouldn't be on unless an order is pending. So that should save us a tiny bit of electricity. Let's give this a test run because this might all go to hell yet. Who flipping knows? Let's just start it off and see how we go. But so far, we are under budget. You don't have to be under budget, by the way. You can go over budget as much as you want. That's just like a bonus objective. In fact, for safety, I'm going to move the order reader, one of them, over here, because then this order reader basically acts as like buffers, so if ingredients hit the end of the line, they don't fall on the floor or whatever. Instead, the arm has a bit more time to assemble them. But to be honest, I'm more concerned about this arm over here with the burger machine, because that arm's got a lot of stuff to pick up. Oh, there's a customer coming into the shop. So, they have ordered the burger. So as a result of that, what happens immediately? So we get ourselves, bacon and burger. Robot arm starts immediately dealing with that. So 2 patties and 1 bit of bacon. The bacon gets grabbed. The cheese is being grabbed too. And there we go. All of the relevant things are now being shoved into the machine. But it can't start assembling until everything's ready for it. So we're probably waiting for the patties. Because yeah, double patty takes a bit of time to cook. The robot arm is just about keeping up, actually. At speed 1, it seems to be under control. The first hot dog has also been ordered. The first double bacon burger is now being processed, so hopefully that will be ready momentarily. The customer is starting to get a bit impatient because they've gone yellow and now orange, but there it goes, delivered straight out, and the first one is delivered. Why is that not on? Why is that not being assembled? What have I done wrong? I set that to be off while an order is pending. It was supposed to be on while an order is pending. So basically, well done me there. Alright, started again. Obviously, you can speed up time in case you've actually had a fair few failures, like I've just had there. So, we now know this thing should be operating correctly. The burger machine seems to now be working. Check on the state of the hot dog machine. There goes hot dog. Right, so both of them are now being produced. The first hot dog is now on its way. So actually, I think we're actually doing alright. Yes, we are actually fulfilling orders. The only question now is, will I actually manage to get the energy bonus objective too? Because potentially I might have been better off, doing a bit more to try and turn machines off when they're not being used. But honestly, the grill is constantly being used. So I feel like probably this is fine. So I'm going to speed things up and see if any problems start to emerge. But I believe I've successfully automated this here kitchen. Lovely. Yep, final few orders coming in here. We are fulfilling them very nicely. That hot dog should be the last one. And, yep, ingredients were not wasted. Energy was very efficient. 86% efficiency. As it turns out, I'm a genius in kitchen automation. Oh, things are getting complicated now. A brand new chicken melt that is apparently the most complex dish we've ever had, and we've now got the concept of side orders. People aren't just ordering one thing anymore, they can order something with a side. Right, this is going to start getting complicated. So we don't just need to produce the fries, we need to package them so they're actually handed over in a little cardboard container or whatever. And we need a storage unit to keep food fresh so one thing can be ready for its counterpart to make an appearance. And even worse, we've got a critic showing up. So at some point, someone very important is going to appear. And when they do show up, they're going to want their order super fast. So, 2 bread slices need to be toasted. A raw chicken needs to become a grilled chicken. Then it needs to be processed into grilled chicken pieces. Cheese needs to be processed. Bacon strips need to be cooked. All of that goes together for a chicken melt. Fine. So the first 3-step process here. Chicken to cooked to chopped up into assembler. And the potato needs to be cut up, then fried, then packaged. And we've actually got ourselves a new fry-matic. So yeah, that's what the chips need to go into. Gotcha. And we've also got ingredient gates that need to be given instructions to let things through. And a splitter, enter anything into there, it will get divided into 2. Lovely. So, same basic principle as before. Assembler for the chicken melt. But we only need 1 assembler because fries don't get assembled. They get packaged instead. So we'll put 1 packager over here, and we just need to feed some lovely fries into there. So dishes to package, just the fries, please. So we'll come back to the fries in a second. Let's just focus on the chicken melt over here. Because once again, we've got 3 ingredients that need to be cooked. The bread, the chicken, and the bacon strips. And also, 2 that need to be processed afterwards. I suspect, once again, we can do this with 1 grill if I lay it out sensibly. So, same basic layout as we've done before, except yeah, if I actually turn the conveyor belt so they're running into the arm, it won't potentially bypass them, so therefore I can actually have the conveyor belt running at full speed. Because I think that means they just kind of, yeah, stick right here, not fall between the arm and the conveyor belt. So, plan. Because if I just actually set myself up some smart arms right over here, this arm picks up the toasted slices. This arm picks up the bacon bits. They just immediately get brought over here, getting ready to be assembled. However, this arm down over here, this is the arm that picks up the grilled chicken. Now the grilled chicken needs to be processed so it gets turned into little bits. So does the cheese. So, what if I was to actually, yeah, just turn this around a little bit. Let's just say, you go over here, and then some more conveyor belts, please. You over here, and we replace this with a processor right there. So that's going to process the chicken before it actually makes its way over to here. But on top of that, this is also the right place to introduce the cheese into the equation. So that there is now the cheese dispenser, which can also be processed by the same processor as is going to tear up all of the chicken chunks. So, same as before, 1 order read goes down, in the event of a chicken melt, then perform the action of dispensing the relevant ingredients once for everything, apart from the bread, where we need twice. So I'm now just going to actually get this going, even though the fries aren't ready, just to check whether I'm actually onto a basically good thing here. Here we go, someone's ordered a chicken melt and some fries. Now we don't have the fries ready to go, bit on the unfortunate side, but let's just check this all works correctly. Yes, this does seem to be working correctly. The ingredients are not falling off the conveyor belt, they're just waiting to be picked up. So bacon is being picked up, the bread is being done right now, the chicken is going to be shredded there as well. Actually, this seems to be working pretty darn nicely if I do say so myself. Alright, nothing too complicated here, I've just built the potato line down on the right. So potato is produced, gets processed into potato chunks, gets taken by the dumb arm over to the fryer, the smart arm waits for them to become fried potato wedges, gets packaged up, gets taken over here. Nice and simple. And as the potato process is very simple in terms of ordering, it's simply a potato is produced, then everything just happens. I'm just going to say every other machine is only on while the order is pending. So we'll save a big old pile of electricity by everything else being off unless fries have actually been requested. Now, I haven't actually used the storage thing yet, so that is, yeah, a small chest to store up to 5 ingredients or finished dishes. I'm not sure why I need that, but when I start this restaurant operating, I'm guessing I'm going to figure that out very quickly indeed. Here we go, customers heading into my restaurant right now. I suspect the first order is, there we go, chicken melt and fries. So a double order right there, 2 orders move in together. So the fries are now underway. We know this bit works already. The fries are being fried. We're just constructing the chicken melt right now. There goes the actual, yeah, there's the bread. It's the bread that's the slowest bit, is it? Or maybe it's the chicken, actually. The chicken seems to be a bit on the slow side. Yeah, the fries have now been delivered. That's fine. But we're still down 1 chicken melt. And also, a food critic is about to place an order. So, he's not going to be willing to wait very long, unfortunately. I do have plenty of stuff showing up right now. Chips are... yeah, we seem to be producing at roughly the same rate, because I'm not seeing a big old pile of chips or a big old pile of chicken in the order. Possibly, yeah, we're overproducing chips versus chicken melt. So people are getting stuff in not the right order, really. Actually, that is definitely happening right now. Still, the food critic with the star, he went to the top of the queue, so he basically just jumped everybody, so that's fine. You can see it there, 579. We're mass producing chips, but there just aren't enough chicken melts in. So, is that annoying people, or are people mostly okay with it? People seem to be mostly okay with it. They don't seem to be demanding that everything gets delivered together. They're happy to nibble on their chips while they wait for their chicken melts, though we are falling further and further behind. Though then again, this is a very cheap and energy efficient setup, so I'm pretty happy with it regardless. Right, let's speed this up and see if anything actually, yeah, becomes a problem over time, because we're definitely falling behind on the... uh-oh! Ah, right, yes. So, salmonella. Yeah, raw chicken. I didn't really consider that. That's a thing that can happen. Raw chicken has infected conveyor belts and is now infecting everything because raw chicken needs to be... I thought this seemed a bit simple. Yeah, okay. So, to avoid killing everybody, I'm gonna need to make some changes here. Now, is there any way to use a single grill while avoiding the risk of cross-contamination? Because I definitely need 3 smart arms to pull the relevant ingredients off the grill only when cooked. That means there's only 1 available slot for a dumb arm, and a dumb arm can only pick from 1 direction. So as a result of that, even if I were to just say simply, okay, the chicken machine is at the top and then feeds downwards, the conveyor belt that leads onto the arm will still become contaminated. So as a result of that, I think it's time to accept we have a separate grill for the chicken. So, chicken is now produced on its own separate production line. The raw chicken handling arm will become contaminated, but that's fine because there is no risk of cross-contamination. By the time the smart arm picks it up, it's already cooked, and thus this line over here where the cheese goes should be absolutely fine. But as we've got so much spare money, I may as well actually use another order reader just to actually increase efficiency here. So, you are only on in the event of a chicken melt, and you are going to be attached to absolutely all of these machines, in particular, all of these grills. And all of them are only going to be on when an order is pending. So if there's no order, you guys switch yourselves off, save some electricity. I'm also going to slightly slow down the rate of potato production, purely so we don't actually, fall massively behind. So, 1 potato every 8 seconds, not 5. So as a result of that, I actually want, potato production rates to slow just a little bit. Let's try that, see if that works better, and more importantly, kills less people. And here we go, start of service, the grills are not on yet, energy usage is very, very slow indeed. So this little quiet period before the first customers arrive is much less energy intensive. Okay, order number 1 comes in. And on this occasion, the chicken should actually be produced faster. And I think the chicken is the slowest part of the process because the chicken needs to be... no, it'll be the bread, won't it? The bread will definitely be the slowest part of the process. So actually, if we think about it, we might be better off having... ooh, I just had a thought. You see, the bread producing machine can only produce 1 bread every 5 seconds. But if there were 2 bread dispensers, I'm still under budget, so this is going to be my secondary bread slice dispenser. So they can actually all be produced at once. But as a result of that, this bread slicer only produces one bread slice. The other bread slicer, however, I can actually get hooked into because I have a spare order reader over here. You go and have a chat with this one. So when a new order for a chicken melt comes in, I want that one to also spit out one bread. So now, rather than actually 2 bits of bread with a 5-second latency, the 2 breads are produced simultaneously. And as a result of that, I don't think we need to slow down potato production anymore. Back up to 5 seconds. That should run a little bit more efficiently, and we're still under budget. Okay, order number 1 comes in. Chicken melt and fries as a double order. So on this occasion, in just a moment, both bits of bread are produced simultaneously, so as a result of that, we are now producing that much more quickly. The cheese is incredibly fast. How's the chicken doing, by the way? The chicken's being processed, and the bread is now coming around over here. Yeah, actually, now the chicken melt is going to be ready pretty much instantaneously. So the chicken melt has been produced. The fries are slightly ahead, to be honest, but it's not so bad, really. It's only like a few seconds off, so actually, this is running much, much better. Now, we do actually have, yeah, a critic coming in momentarily, but this seems to be running pretty well. So whenever the critic does show up, hopefully, we'll have a chicken melt ready for him straight away. If anything, actually, I'll tell you what, it looks like the arm is actually sometimes struggling to keep up with loading everything into the machine. We might be able to produce more quickly. No, we can do that. What we need here is we need a double arm, purely for the sake of actually grabbing more stuff right here. But in order for this to be able to grab anything, this is going to need to be lowered down to a lower speed. So we're just going to take the stress off this arm right here. The bread is now going to be grilled immediately over on the left there. The potatoes slowly becoming fries. The cheese is already in place, obviously. The bacon comes in. The chicken is being shredded. That gets grabbed. Yeah, one of the breads gets grabbed immediately. And as a result of that, that first chicken melt is actually already in production. So the first fries have been delivered. And the first... Oh, look at that. That's so much better. This is actually working really efficiently now. My only concern is whether I'm actually using too much electricity. But we'll see about that as time goes by. Oh, there he goes. There's the critic. But chicken melt for him straight away. Now, we're not perfect because the orders are number 5 and number 7, suggesting, yeah, order number 6 was almost certainly fries, and they've already been delivered. So, definitely, we are still under-delivering chicken melt to over-delivering fries. But I would say I think we're in good enough shape for the time being. Let's speed this up and see what's wrong here, because, yeah, this arm's got salmonella on it, but it's not actually spreading. There's no way it should be able to spread. So, broadly, I'm happy with this. Over to info lens of bacteria. Yeah, actually, that is not spreading right now. I am very happy about life. And the orders are being delivered en masse. Energy looks like it is well under control. We're already 2/3 of the way there. We are not falling massively behind on the chicken melt at all. I think I have done very, very well here. I'm very happy with this production line. Oh, here we go. 3 different things are now on the menu. And on top of that, there's going to be a rush hour at some point, I have been warned. So at some point, demand is going to go way up for a period of time. And bacon fries are really complicated. Right, so, cheese now needs to be processed twice in a row. Bacon needs to be cooked. We know about the basic fries already. Cheeseburger's pretty simple, really. Cook a patty, slice some cheese, bacon bun, fine. And the cheesy dog, that's pretty simple too. So yeah, the chips are actually surprisingly the most complicated bit of all. So the real trick here is going to be the cheese. Because I don't really want to have multiple cheese producers. Though, in theory, I might have to. Bacon fries needs grated cheese. Cheeseburger needs a cheese slice. Cheesy dog needs grated cheese. So that's 2 grated cheese to a single sliced cheese. Though hang on, if I was to put a cheese producer and then a splitter, so as a result of that, 0.5 cheese is going in one direction, 0.5 the other, but then I put another cheese producer just before the second splitter, then the second one gets 1.5, split again into 0.75, that's probably reasonable enough right there. Yes, that's probably a good idea. I've got a plan. So, 1 cheese producer down over here. That gets immediately processed because everybody needs their cheese at least somewhat processed. At that point, we split the cheese in 2. So that's now going 50-50 either way. At which point, cheese dispenser number 2 is distributed. So as a result of that, 0.5 cheese goes in this direction, 1.5 cheese goes in this direction, at which point we split that again, so 0.75 is going in that direction. That makes sense, right? Yes, that roughly makes sense. that was actually lunacy and a really stupid idea. Because if you're gonna have 2 cheese dispensers anyway, why on earth would you go to the trouble of creating an elaborate maze to bring the sliced cheese round to the cheeseburger when you could just have 1 cheese dispenser down south to deal with the grated cheese and 1 cheese dispenser up north to deal with the sliced cheese? That's vastly easier. The real trick is trying to do this with 1 grill again, because bacon needs to be delivered over here, the hot dog needs to be delivered over here, and the patty needs to be delivered over here. Okay, the basics can be here, as we've seen before. So, this over here, yeah, that delivers that way, that delivers straight. That delivers, hang on, that delivers straight as well. That's going to be the cooked patty, delivered straight over to the burger machine. That's the cooked hot dog, straight to hot dog machine. That's the crispy bacon strips, straight over to where those are going to get assembled into proper cheesy fries. Oh, and I might accidentally be a genius here. This might be just the exact amount of space I need to actually have, oh yeah, look over here. I could squeeze in a double cheese grinder over here. So just put a conveyor belt down over here. We also need to introduce, hang on, I need to dispense the hot dog bun. That needs to be right here. So that's just the basic hot dog bun right there. So that gets brought over to the hot dog assembler. Now this is the point where we need the splitter right here. So yeah, we get ourselves a splitter right there. There we go. Then we introduce a conveyor belt over there. So now, any grated cheese that gets produced gets split evenly between the hot dog machine and the cheesy fries machine. Now, that doesn't necessarily work perfectly, because people aren't going to be alternately ordering cheesy dog and bacon fries. But it should roughly more or less work, I think. And this bit's actually really easy. So produce cheese, double process it. Yes, that's the stuff. And then up top, nothing too complicated, single cheese processing for the actual cheeseburger. And there's just enough space as well for, here we go, that can actually be the burger bun dispenser. So that should be a completely functional burger right there, and a completely functional cheesy dog as well. So we just need to sort out the bacon fries. We've got the bacon bits already, we've already got the cheese, so hang on, what's left? Literally just potato, process, fry, job done. Nice and simple. Potato gets turned into strips, gets carried over into fryer, smart arm detects when cooked, brought over here, packaging unit right there. Now I just need to set up the order readers, because of course, thanks to the fact that cheese is actually being produced for 2 items, that's gonna start getting a bit on the confusing side. I might actually need 4 of those just for safety. Okay, simple setup so far. 3 order readers, which are positioned so they make sense. So we got ourselves, yeah, this is the one handling the burgers, just saying, hey, produce 1 of each item when a burger is actually requested. Then we've got 1 for the hot dogs over here, saying, hey, 1 hot dog bun, 1 actual hot dog. That's absolutely lovely. This one over here for the fries. Produce 1 bit of bacon and get 1 potato in production, please. And as we've actually got ourselves spare connections here, I may as well say, okay, burger thing, connect to the actual, yeah, assembler. You may as well be only on when an order is pending. And same for the hot dog machine here as well. Now this last one, this is the one where things can go wrong here. So, this order reader is for bacon fries and cheesy dogs. In both occasions, this thing needs to trigger. And it purely runs the cheese dispenser over here. Now that needs to, when either of those orders is received, generate, yeah, 1. That should, hopefully, work. I think. It probably doesn't. It's probably wired up horribly. You're probably yelling at me right now. But we'll figure it out soon enough. We're just going to turn it on. We're under budget. We'll see how it goes. Cheesy dog has now been requested. The problem is, the cheese may or may not go in the right direction. We don't know whether it's actually going to or not. And it didn't. The cheese just went into the wrong direction. So now we have to wait for someone else to order either a cheesy dog or cheesy fries. Until that happens, we simply cannot fulfill the cheesy dog. What's going on with the burger, however? How are we doing on the burger? The burger is... okay, the burgers are going well, because the burger is the simplest thing going, because it doesn't involve the cheese madness. So, all of the cheeseburgers are... uh-oh. No one's... oh, someone just ordered bacon fries. Good. So as a result of that, cheese should be being produced momentarily. So that cheese should be moved over to the hot dog machine. And, yeah, swap it. Why didn't you just swap that? That should have just been swapped. Hang on. Why is cheese not making its way to the cheesy dog machine? Swapper, you're not doing your job here. Oh, this is fun. You can actually set the splitter to have a certain ratio. Possibly my mistake was just not setting this. So yes, splitter, please split 50-50. Now you've been set, are you planning to actually do your job? Okay, let's try this again. I think it just wasn't set up correctly. So, wait for the first customer. Power usage currently very slow. And a cheesy dog should be the first thing to come through. So once again, the bun, super nice and easy. Right now that is being fried. Momentarily the meat for the cheeseburger should come through as well. Cheeseburgers are easy to actually keep track of. Once again, the cheese has not gone in the right direction. And until somebody else orders something with cheese, it won't. But now, there is cheese waiting for the cheesy bacon fries. So hopefully, we're going to be okay. And if it's anything like last time, momentarily, the first cheesy bacon fries should be ordered. So once that happens, we should hopefully have a solution here. So, cheesy bacon fries now have been ordered. Cheese is being produced. Cheese gets shredded, cheese gets grated, and... come on, splitter. Don't let me down here. The splitter has done its job. Right, there is now actual cheese on the move. People are not happy with the cheesy dog situation, but there we go. We've now actually got ourselves our first cheesy dog in production. The order's about to expire, but it will not expire because here comes the cheesy dog together with the cheesy fries. So, actually, we are doing things in roughly the right order here. Aside from the fact that, yeah, cheese, this is not really the optimal way of distributing it, but it'll have to flip and do. The problem is, uh-oh, rush hour started, and I'm behind on my cheesy dogs. That is not good. If anyone would like to order cheesy fries, that's great, however, because we've got plenty of cheese just sitting there waiting for that. There we go. As more cheesy fries come in, yeah, we can actually deal with the cheesy dogs. Burgers, however, not a problem. The problem is just, yeah, because people are, uh-oh, someone wants a cheesy dog to go in a hurry. That's not good. Right, so that's the rush hour right there. The problem is, yeah, way more cheesy dogs are being ordered than bacon fries, which is... that's not good, and yeah, orders are starting to get a bit on the risky side. We're not producing the cheesy dogs anywhere near fast enough. Luckily, people are also ordering cheeseburgers en masse. Cheeseburgers we can keep up with. That's not a problem when I say we can keep up with them. So we are struggling a little bit, but thankfully, they're all ordering cheeseburgers en masse. We can produce cheeseburgers pretty bloody fast. Cheesy dogs are... oh no, no one's ordering. Oh, no one's ordering that. Right. Okay. Possibly this was a mistake. We might need to come up with a... oh, cheesy dogs are expiring. Yeah, cheesy dogs are expiring like crazy. And we are struggling to keep up with the cheeseburgers. Actually, we're doing okay with the cheeseburgers. We're not doing so bad. Okay. I've learnt my lesson. We need to come up with a better solution than the cheese. We can't just leave it up to the whims of fate. I've got an idea. What if we leave it to survival of the fittest? We have two dumb robot arms here, both of them set to grab whatever gets put down in front of them, but both of them are only going to be active if there is an outstanding order. Basically, both of them are going to be trying to grab the cheese as it emerges. One more thing as well, by the way, operation mode. So, I can tell my machine to use less power, but operate more slowly, or high speed, manufacturing time only 4 seconds. Now, we know that the rush is going to involve a big old pile of cheeseburgers, and honestly, everything seems like it's a bit rushed at the minute, so I'm just going to actually move everything over to high speed. Now, I think this might cause some things to explode. Alright, here we go. New and improved layout, and hopefully the competition of the dumb robot arms, where, yeah, the robot arm that's trying to take the cheese and put it down towards the cheesy fries is only on if there are cheesy fries outstanding, which it feels like there shouldn't be, because they just don't seem to be ordered that much. So, if the order's the same as last time, the first order should be for a cheesy dog. So as a result of that, yeah, the bun's straight in, the meat is being cooked right now, and the cheese is grabbed by the arm. There goes the cheese, there goes the bun, and now that immediately starts being produced. So actually, that's looking good. That's looking good right there. That first cheesy dog produced nice and fast. Now actually, I think this should run nice and smooth. The only question is, can we actually keep up with the rush hour when that shows up? Because it feels to me like, yeah, we're actually in pretty good shape, though... potentially, as I did before, I could put a second dumb arm delivering ingredients into the burger maker. That would actually speed that up even further. How are we doing on funding right now? Ooh, I've got 3,000 left. How much does a dumb robot arm actually cost? Only 1,000. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to do that right now. I mean, this is a really, really small micro-optimization right there, because that robot arm is literally doing nothing but handling the sliced cheese. The bun and the patty is still up to that first robot arm, but it just takes the stress off a little bit, and we do know it's going to be cheeseburgers that go nuts during the rush hour, so that is going to speed things up a bit. Okay, speed this up here. Right away, cheesy dog looking good. We've also got our first cheesy fries being packaged up right there. Looks like, yeah, orders are staying in the same order. And as long as orders are in the same order, that's generally a very, very good sign. Now, the rush hour. Let's see if this actually works here, because the moment we've got cheesy dogs and bacon fries outstanding, the robot arms are going to be basically fighting each other to try and grab it. And possibly the cheesy dog actually has the advantage. But that's fine, because cheesy dogs seem to be requested a little bit more frequently. The problem is, while a cheesy dog order is outstanding at all, yeah, the cheesy dog machine will keep trying to grab it because it's still on, meaning bacon fries might fall a bit behind. But luckily, there's only one outstanding right now that's about to be delivered. Now, big old pile of cheeseburgers are being ordered, so things look like they're actually going pretty well. And that machine is actually on high capacity. Are we okay, by the way? There's a moderate fire hazard. It's not ridiculous, so that's all absolutely fine. We're just about keeping up right now. In fact, we're almost done. That should be the last order, and we literally just came a hair's breadth under 1,400 watt hours, I think is WH. And we were good on efficiency too. Oh, nailed it. Only 63% efficiency, but we didn't waste ingredients. I'm pretty happy with myself. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the point. This here is Automachef, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Just looking at the background there, I'm guessing it gets a lot more flipping complicated than what we've seen so far. You will see this again. Hopefully, you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Automachef. Thank you very much, and goodbye. You know, I really hope we've agreed open borders with Japan, by the way. Otherwise, they have basically just invaded. I may have picked the wrong fight over... Yep. And my cities, of course, have got even more flipping high-tech. They're mysteriously still completely dependent on, you know, an aqueduct. Now, I'm not saying your entire army is mostly already dead, but it kind of actually is.